This is the third day of this September 2025 7-day sesshin. And we're going to continue. We'll continue with the essential teachings of Zen Master Hakuin, which is a collection of his talks translated by Norman Waddell. Yesterday we covered Hakuin's call for greater rigor and more disciplined practice. Without having guidelines and rules and a structured schedule, it's all too easy to slide into our self-indulgent habits. To waste our energy and our efforts on getting what we want and avoiding what we don't want. And all the while, missing out on life. On this. Today we'll go to a different chapter. It's chapter 4, and it's titled The Difficulty of Repaying the Debt to the Buddhas and Patriarchs. The difficulty of repaying that debt. What is the debt that we owe to Buddhas and patriarchs, Buddhas and ancestors? Centuries of enlightened ones. It's not a financial debt that we owe. It's actually one that we can't calculate or even represent in figures or numbers. It's the debt of gratitude. How can we measure that? How can we repay it? Well, actually, we're repaying it right now in this sesshin. In every moment that we make that choice to return to our practice, doing our best to continuously turn inward, to look directly and see what's here. What is this? Hakuin begins. Buddha means one who is awakened. Once you have awakened, you see that your own mind itself is Buddha. By seeking outside yourself for a Buddha, manifested in form, you set yourself forward as a foolish, misguided person. It is like a person who wants to catch a fish. One must start by looking in the water because fish live in water and are not found apart from it. If a person wants to find Buddha, they must look into their own mind because it is there and nowhere else that Buddha exists. When we look outside ourselves, we're just objectifying our true nature. As if it's like a material thing, an object, or a place that you'd like to visit. Separate and far removed from where you are. But we can take a lesson from a fish. A fish doesn't recognize itself as an object swimming in water. It lives its entire life fully in and of that water. And it is in thanks to ancestors, including but not limited to Hakuin, that we have this method to undo this habit of living our life as separate. Whatever practice you're working on, following the breath, a koan, shikantaza, whatever it is, it's a method of turning our attention inward, turning it toward what we're experiencing. This incredible sense world that we're immersed in. It's not separate from who we are. And delving into the mystery of it. What is this? ¿Qué es esto? What is Mu? Who am I? Next Hakuin introduces a question, and it's from the vantage point of a student. What can I do to become awakened to my own mind? What is it that asks such a question? Is it my mind? Is it my original nature? Is it some kind of spirit or demon? Is it inside me? Outside me? Is it somewhere intermediate? Is it blue, yellow, red, or white? What is it? And Hakuin answers, it is something you must investigate and clarify for yourself. You must investigate it whether you are standing or sitting, speaking or silent, when you are eating your rice or drinking your tea. You must keep at it with total single-minded devotion. And never, whatever you do, never look in sutras or in commentaries for an answer, or seek it in the words you hear a teacher speak. Whatever you do, don't look outward. And that means we gotta let go of thoughts and words. Let go of all the ideas about yourself and your practice and other people and their practice. Ideas about the past and the future, and also the present. If we're really absorbed in our practice, there isn't even a present. And when you find yourself caught up in thoughts, not if, but when, regardless of what they happen to be about, you just drop them. Put it down. And go back to the source. Go back to the breath. The koan, to what you're experiencing. And that's what single-pointed attention requires. Returning, 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 over and over and over. Without lamenting how many times you have to do it, or how many years you've been at it. Get the self out of the way. Hakuin says, when all the effort you can muster has been exhausted and you have reached a total impasse, and you are like the cat at the rat hole, like the mother hen warming her egg, it will suddenly come and you will break free. The phoenix will get through the golden net. The crane will fly clear of the cage. Like a cat at a rat hole. A hen sitting on her eggs. Which means not allowing your attention to drift. If that cat starts thinking about having the rat for dinner, imagining what it will taste like, or maybe the cat thinks that it's a lot smarter than this rat, it starts strategizing how it will nab it. Or thinking, oh, I'm terrible at this, I can't possibly get this rat. Or whatever. It's not going to get the rat if it's caught up in thoughts. It's not going to see what's right there inside that hole. And as for the mother hen, she must give her continuous and full attention to warming and nurturing her eggs. She has to keep them at just the right temperature, gently turning them over from time to time so that they don't get too warm nor too cold. Hakuin then says, hence, a priest of former times said, a person who commits himself to the practice of Zen must be equipped with 3 essentials: a great root of faith, a great ball of doubt, a great tenacity of purpose. Lacking any one of them, he is like a tripod with only 2 legs. So these are what we call the 3 essentials in Zen. Great faith, great doubt, and great determination. They're the 3 pillars of Zen. And they're deeply intertwined with one another. You really can't have one without the other, too. Hakuin says, great root of faith is the belief that Each and every person has an essential self-nature they can see into. And the belief that this self-nature can be fully penetrated. Even though you attain this belief, you cannot break through and penetrate to total awakening unless feelings of fundamental doubt arise as you work on the difficult to pass koans. And as we've said before, Hakuin was a champion of koan practice. He revitalized it after it had been on the decline. And of course, one's first koan is the most difficult. It goes on, and even if these doubts build up and crystallize, and you yourself become a great doubting mass, you will be unable to break that doubting mass apart unless you constantly bore into it with a great burning tenacity of purpose or determination. So there's faith. We'll start with that. Not faith in some God or supernatural being, not in a savior, also not faith in a belief system, not even faith in the teachings of the Buddha. The only kind of faith that really matters is the faith that is embodied. The faith in Zazen. And even if you think for a moment that you lack this faith, take a look at what you're doing. As long as you're doing Zazen, as long as you have a sitting practice, let alone do a 7-day sesshin, you've got faith. And then there's doubt. Great doubt goes hand in hand with it. Hand in hand with faith. It arises out of not knowing. Out of asking a question that doesn't have an answer, that can't be figured out. And just absorbing ourselves in the mystery of it. Dropping the desire to get a result. To figure out something. Figure out what? What is there to figure out? And when it comes to questioning, Here too, you might question your own doubt, just as you might question your faith. Well, I don't seem to have sufficient doubt. I'm not feeling it. There's no question mark at the end of mu. I must be doing it wrong. Should I try a different practice then? It's not working. It doesn't at all feel like I'm exploring a great mystery. It feels more like I'm banging my head against a wall. It's all a bunch of thoughts about me and my practice. And here again, as long as you're doing Zazen, going to Sesshin, you have both great faith and great doubt. Don't expect that it has to feel a certain way. That's objectifying it. Just put your trust in it. Then there's great determination. It arises out of faith and doubt. Has nothing to do with beliefs, and it's embodied. Embodied in, again, Zazen. Embodied in our persistent effort. We're not going to get it perfect. We can't 24/7 achieve some imagined level of absorption. That's result seeking. It's all in the trying. That's what determination is. Just the trying itself is enough. Giving, giving, giving. Giving it over. Hakuin then says, thus it is said that it takes 3 long kalpas for lazy and inattentive sentient beings to attain nirvana, while for the fearless and stout-hearted, Buddhahood comes in a single instant. Just 1 kalpa, let alone 3, is an amazingly long, immeasurable amount of time. How long will it take? That single instant doesn't happen on a timetable. We can't set our timer to go off. We can't put it on our calendar. It doesn't pander to our preferences. But, as you all know, things do change in an instant. One moment, you're lost in thought, and then the next, stillness. Who's doing that? Need to forget about time. Time is an idea. It's the idea of there being some kind of linear sequence. Of there being a beginning, a middle, and an end. The way to work on your practice is to treat it as a moment by moment effort. Just this one. And now this one. Forget about everything else. The mother hen sitting on her eggs doesn't sit there wondering, oh, when are they going to hatch? Or, I wonder what the chicks will look like when they break out of the shell. No, that mother hen is just sitting, just giving her attention to keeping the eggs warm now. Just doing what needs to be done now. Hakuin then says, what you must do is concentrate single-mindedly on bringing all of your native potential into play. The practice of Zen is like making a fire by friction. The essential thing as you rub wood against stone is to apply continuous, all-out effort. If you stop when you see the first sign of smoke, you will never get even a flicker of fire, even though you keep rubbing away for 2 or 3 kalpas. If you stop when you see the first sign of smoke, you will never get even a flicker of fire. If I could count the number of times I did that, just that. Get to a certain point where thoughts settle, . Maybe the pain, any physical pain, subsides. Feeling kind of light and buoyant. Feels wonderful. There's that temptation to just stay right there. Kick back and enjoy it. Enjoy the scenery. To go deeper, you have to stay intimate with your practice, no matter the condition. When you're bored, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're grumpy, but also when it feels good, when it's pleasant. Stay with it then too. Continuous effort. And gentle effort at that. Continuous doesn't mean straining or grasping. It means steady, calm, persistent. Next, Hakuin gives an analogy. He says, only a few hundred yards from here is a beach. Suppose someone is bothered because she has never tasted seawater and decides to sample some. She sets out in the direction of the beach, but before she has gone 100 paces, she stops and comes back. She starts out again, but this time she returns after she has taken only 10 steps. She will never get to know the taste of seawater that way, will she? But if she keeps going straight ahead, without turning back, even if she lives far inland in a landlocked province, she will eventually reach the sea. By dipping her finger in the water and tasting it, she will know instantly the taste of seawater the world over. Because it is, of course, the same everywhere, in India, China, the Southern Sea, or the Northern Sea. Also in the Atlantic, the Pacific. The Great Lakes. The underground springs that feed Chapin Pond. That water that flows along the creek eventually makes its way to Lake Ontario and then to the Atlantic Ocean. It's all water. Some of it's more salty than other bodies, but it's all water. And as soon as you taste water, you know water. But if all we do is look at it from a distance, it's not the same. It's not the same as taking a drink. Hakuin goes on, those Dharma patricians who explore the secret depths are like this too. They go straight forward, boring into their own minds with unbroken effort, never letting up or retreating. Then the breakthrough suddenly comes, and with that they penetrate their own nature, the nature of others, the nature of sentient beings, the nature of the evil passions and of enlightenment, the nature of Buddha nature, the God nature, the Bodhisattva nature, the sentient being nature, the non-sentient being nature, the craving ghost nature, the contentious spirit nature, the beast nature. In sum, our nature. They are, all of them, seen in a single instant. The great matter of their religious quest is completely and utterly resolved. There's nothing left. They are free of birth and death. What a thrilling moment it is. We have a lot of big, grand ideas about enlightenment, don't we? And we wonder what it's like. What is it like to experience Kensho? If or when it happens, will I know it? How will I know it? These are questions that a lot of people raise. I'm pretty sure I asked it of Roshi at one point. It's only natural because it's our aspiration and our faith and our determination. But if we linger in those thoughts about it, again, we make it into an object outside of who we are. When I asked Roshi, how will I know? What is it like? He said, without missing a beat, find out for yourself. No one can do this work for us. But we sure are fortunate to have the support of one another, to be in this sesshin together, shoulder to shoulder. Hakuin says, "It is with great respect and deep reverence that I urge all you superior seekers who investigate the secret depths to be as earnest in penetrating and clarifying the self as you would be putting out a fire on top of your head, to be as assiduous in boring through your doubt as you would be seeking a lost article of incalculable worth, to be as hostile toward the teachings left by the Buddha patriarchs as you would be toward a person who had just slain both of your parents. Anyone belonging to the school of Zen who does not engage in doubting and introspection must be considered a deadbeat rascal of the lowest type, a person who would throw away the greatest asset he has. Hence, Cao Feng said, "At the bottom of great doubt lies great enlightenment. A full measure of doubt will become a full measure of enlightenment." Don't think the commitments and pressing duties of secular life leave you no time to go about forming a ball of doubt. Don't think your mind is so crowded with confused thoughts you would be incapable of devoting yourself single-mindedly. Don't think you're an exception. Don't think that you're a special case, that it's all beings without number except for me. It's amazing how much time and energy we waste in beating ourselves up. How's that working for you? Don't sell yourself short. Don't give in to thoughts. During the first half of Sesshin, this is difficult. We come into Sesshin with a swirl of stuff in our head. But during the second half of Sesshin as well, it's difficult. There's still thoughts swirling around. Accept that you need to practice in the midst of thoughts. Just accept that. Make peace with it. They're just like the furniture in the room. It's not a problem. Let them be. If you try to get rid of them, or you get frustrated by their presence, or if you tense up in your body and your mind, then you're just giving them more power. You're fueling them. And you're separating yourself. How's that working for you? We'll stop here and recite the 4 vows.